The message arrived at 2:13 a.m. I wasn't supposed to see it. My wife had fallen asleep on the couch, her phone glowing softly on the armrest. A careless mistake, the kind people make when they believe they're smarter than everyone else. The screen lit up again. A new notification, one sentence. Tonight we finish it. After Thanksgiving, my stomach didn't drop. My heart didn't race. Those reactions belong to people who still believe the world is fair. I simply picked up the phone. Unlocked. She had never bothered to change the passcode. 4 digits. Our daughter's birthday. The irony almost made me smile. Message thread. Dozens of texts. Her. And Mark, our daughter's babysitter. Young, charming, always eager to help, always staying a little longer than necessary. I scrolled slowly. My wife's words appeared on the screen like poison dripping from a blade. She's defective anyway. Just like him. She meant me. But the next message made the room colder. After Thursday, nobody will question it. Accidents happen. I looked toward the hallway. Our daughter was asleep, 8 years old, a small nightlight glowing beneath her bedroom door. And suddenly the house didn't feel like a home anymore. It felt like a stage, and my wife thought she was the director. What she didn't understand yet was that I had already rewritten the ending. The next morning, my wife kissed my cheek. Soft, routine, practiced. "Morning," she said, like nothing in the world was wrong. I watched her pour coffee, stir sugar, check her phone. Normal movements, but now I could see the performance behind them. The subtle smile when a notification arrived. The quick glance toward the hallway to make sure I wasn't watching. People reveal everything when they think you trust them. I said nothing. Instead, I asked a simple question. "Mark coming today?" She paused, just for half a second. Then she smiled again. "Yes, your daughter likes him." Your daughter, not our daughter. That detail lingered in my mind. Later that afternoon, I reviewed the messages again. More pieces surfaced, fragments of something darker. "He deserves to lose everything. Once she's gone, he'll fall apart. Insurance will cover it." There it was. Money, always money. But the line that kept replaying in my mind was the cruelest. She's defective like him anyway. Our daughter wasn't defective. She simply had a hearing implant, a small medical condition we had managed for years. But to my wife, she was a flaw, a liability, something that made her embarrassed in front of friends, and apparently something worth erasing. I sat alone in my office that evening, phone in my hand, scrolling, analyzing, connecting patterns, and slowly, quietly, a plan began to form. Not anger, not revenge fueled by rage, something colder, something precise. If they wanted an accident, I would let them. I contacted the police 2 days later, not through the front desk, through someone I trusted. Detective Ramirez listened carefully as I placed printed screenshots on the table. No exaggeration, no emotional speeches, just evidence, message timestamps, phone numbers, plans. His eyes narrowed as he read. "Do they know you've seen this?" "No." "Good," he said quietly. The investigation began immediately. Hidden cameras, phone monitoring, location tracking, every movement documented. And I played my role perfectly. Calm husband, unaware father, blind to everything happening in his own home. Meanwhile, the messages between my wife and Mark grew bolder, more confident. "Thanksgiving will be perfect." He'll never see it coming. "The kid goes first." That line made my fingers tighten around the phone, but I didn't react. Emotion is noise. Strategy requires silence. Thanksgiving morning arrived cold and gray, the house filled with artificial warmth, decorations, food, smiles that felt like masks. Mark arrived at noon. He shook my hand. Firm grip, friendly grin. "Happy Thanksgiving." I studied his eyes. Young, arrogant, certain he was the smartest man in the room. He had no idea 3 unmarked police cars were parked 2 streets away, or that every room in the house was being recorded. My wife kissed him lightly on the cheek when she thought no one was looking. But the cameras saw everything, the whispers, the glances, the moment she handed him something small and metallic in the kitchen. And all the while, I kept smiling. Dinner ended around 7. Plates stacked. Conversation fading. That's when my wife made her move. She walked into the living room where I sat with our daughter, a sweet smile on her face. "Why don't you help Mark outside?" she told our daughter. "He needs help with the decorations." I watched Mark open the back door. Cold air rushed inside. Our daughter looked at me. "Dad?" I stood slowly. "No," I said. The word cut through the room. My wife blinked. "What?" I pulled a folder from the table. Placed it down. Then I spoke quietly. "You said she was defective." Silence. Mark froze. My wife's face drained of color. "How long were you planning it?" I asked. Her voice cracked. "I don't know what you—" The front door burst open. Police officers entered the house. Fast. Controlled. "Don't move!" Mark's face turned white. My wife's hands began to shake. Detective Ramirez stepped forward. "We've been monitoring your messages for 4 days." He held up his tablet. Video footage. Kitchen whispers. Text conversations. Every detail of their plan. Documented. Recorded. Unavoidable. My wife collapsed into a chair. Mark tried to run. He didn't make it 3 steps. Handcuffs clicked shut. And through it all, I stayed perfectly still. They arrested Mark first. Then my wife. She kept staring at me like she had never seen me before. Maybe she hadn't. "Why?" she whispered. Her voice sounded small now. Pathetic. "You called her defective," I said calmly. Tears slid down her face. "I didn't mean—" I raised a hand. Silence. For years I had loved this woman, trusted her, built a life with her. But standing there now, I felt nothing. Not anger, not sadness. Just clarity. "You thought I was weak," I continued. "You thought I wouldn't notice." Her breathing became shaky. "But the moment you decided my daughter was disposable," I said quietly, "you made yourself irrelevant." Detective Ramirez nodded to the officers. They escorted her toward the door. She turned back one last time, eyes desperate. "Please?" I didn't answer. I simply closed the door. A week later, my phone started ringing nonstop. My daughter-in-law had seen the photos I posted online. My new home. A villa in Switzerland. Snow on the mountains. Glass walls overlooking a silent lake. The caption was simple. "Peace is expensive, but worth it." She had told me once over the phone, "If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes." So I hadn't gone. Instead, I moved on. My phone rang again. And again. 71 missed calls. I never answered. Because the truth about betrayal is simple. Once you see people clearly, you stop needing them. And when the last echo of that old life finally faded, I realized something. The cruelest revenge isn't destroying someone. It's removing them from your world and letting them realize they were never as important as they believed.